Have you ever scrolled through your social media feed and noticed someone who never posts their photo? Someone who's always there, liking your pictures, commenting on your stories, being a part of your digital world, but somehow they never show their own face. No selfies, no group photos, no look where I am today, just silence. And you have probably wondered, why? We live in a world where sharing has become almost a reflex. Someone eats a beautiful meal, they photograph it. Someone travels to a new city, they post it. Someone laughs with friends. The camera comes out before the moment even ends. We have been quietly trained to believe that if it is not shared, it did not really happen. But then there are those people, the ones who watch, the ones who experience without announcing. And here's what most people get wrong about them. They assume something must be off. Maybe they are shy. Maybe they are hiding something. Maybe they are just boring. But psychology tells us a completely different story. Research in behavioral psychology suggests that people who avoid posting personal photos online often score higher in self-awareness than those who post frequently. They are not absent from life. They are deeply present in it. They have made a quiet, powerful choice to live the moment rather than perform it. Think about that for a second. When was the last time you were fully inside an experience, not thinking about the angle, the caption, the likes, just there? For many of us, that's becoming harder and harder to remember. These individuals have what psychologists call a strong internal locus of validation. This means their sense of self-worth does not depend on external approval. They do not need 100 hearts beneath their face to feel beautiful. They do not need comments saying, "You look amazing," to believe it. That kind of emotional independence is rare, and honestly, it's something most of us are still chasing. But let's be honest, it is not always that simple. For some people, staying off camera comes from a place of pain. Past experiences of judgment, comparison, or cyberbullying have taught them that visibility feels dangerous. And that's a deeply human response. When the world has once made you feel too much or not enough, disappearing from its gaze feels like the safest thing to do. The quiet ones are not all the same. Some are free, some are healing, some are protecting themselves, and some are still figuring out who they are, away from the noise of everyone else's opinions. What they all share, though, is this: a life lived on their own terms. And in a world that screams, "Show yourself," that kind of quiet courage deserves to be understood. Now that we understand who these people are, let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside the mind of someone who chooses not to put their face on social media. Because trust me, there is so much more going on beneath that silence than most people ever realize. The first thing you need to understand is that privacy, for these individuals, is not a wall. It is a sanctuary. In psychology, there's a concept called selective self-disclosure, which simply means choosing carefully what parts of yourself you share with the world. For emotionally intelligent people, this isn't about being secretive. It is about being intentional. They understand that not everything sacred needs to be seen by everyone. Imagine having a beautiful garden. Some people throw open the gates and invite the entire neighborhood to walk through it. Others keep the gate locked, not because the garden isn't blooming, but because they want to protect what's growing. People who do not post their photos are often gardeners of their own inner world. And what's growing inside them is often extraordinary. There's also a deep layer of self-protection at play. Social media, for all its beauty, is also a comparison machine. Scroll for 5 minutes and you'll find someone thinner, richer, more traveled, more loved, or at least appearing to be. Psychologists have found strong links between frequent social media photo sharing and increased levels of anxiety, body image dissatisfaction, and the constant, exhausting need for validation. The people who step back from that cycle, they have often seen it for what it is. They have felt the sting of posting something vulnerable and waiting, hoping for the world to respond with kindness. And maybe the world did not. Maybe the silence was louder than any comment could be. So they made a choice. A quiet, dignified choice to stop handing over pieces of themselves to an algorithm. But here's what's truly fascinating. Many of these individuals are not cold or disconnected. Quite the opposite. They tend to form deeper, more meaningful real-world connections. Because when you are not performing for an audience, you start actually talking to people. Really talking. The kind of conversations that happen at 2 a.m. when the phones are down and two people are just honest with each other. They invest in relationships that do not need an audience. They love without tagging. They celebrate without announcing. They grieve without making it content. And that kind of emotional depth, that ability to feel fully without needing it witnessed, is one of the rarest, most beautiful forms of emotional intelligence. They are not hiding from the world. They are protecting what the world hasn't yet learned to handle gently. We have talked about who these people are. We have felt what moves inside them. Now let's talk about what their silence is trying to teach the rest of us. Because I truly believe that people who do not post their photos online are carrying a message that this generation desperately needs to hear. We are living in the age of visibility. The age where your worth is quietly, dangerously measured in followers, reach, and engagement. Where a child as young as 10 years old already understands the difference between a photo that will do well and one that won't. Where adults edit not just their pictures, but their lives, to appear more lovable, more successful, more whole than they actually feel. And in the middle of all that noise, these quiet individuals are doing something almost revolutionary. They are choosing realness over reach. They are choosing depth over display. And without even trying to, they are asking every single one of us a question we are afraid to answer honestly. Who are you when no one is watching? That question cuts deep, does not it? Because so much of what we post is not really about sharing. It's about shaping. Shaping how others see us. Shaping a version of ourselves that feels more acceptable, more admirable, more worthy of love than the version that wakes up at 3 a.m. with doubt and fear and a heart full of unfinished feelings. Psychology calls this impression management, and we are all doing it, to some degree. But the people who step away from posting their photos have often done the harder, braver work of impression release. They have let go of the need to control how the world sees them. And in that letting go, they have found something most of us are still searching for: peace. Now, this is not a video telling you to delete your social media. That's not the point. The point is awareness. The point is to ask yourself, honestly, why do you post what you post? Is it joy? Is it connection? Is it creativity? All of those are beautiful reasons. But if the answer is fear, fear of being forgotten, fear of being left out, fear of not being enough, then perhaps the quiet ones have something to teach you. Because here's the final truth. Your life does not need an audience to be meaningful. Your face does not need a filter to be beautiful. Your story does not need to go viral to matter. The most important moments in your life will never make it to your feed. They will live in your chest, in your memory, in the eyes of someone who was truly there with you. That is where real life happens. And the people who already know this, they are not missing out on life, they are the ones actually living it.